Pots and Panels is almost here. The food-inspired comic book anthology hits Kickstarter this October, with A-list comic creators Phil Hester, Ron Mars, Tim Seeley, Andy Kuhn, and a murderer's row of top indie creators. This anthology will be sure to satisfy your hunger. Besides the comics, the anthology features recipes from the creative teams, comic books and food, a match made in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, man. Famous cartoonist Art Balthazar. As you see, Abraham Lincoln is with me, and we are watching, and you are watching. Famous cartoonists draw at night. They draw at night, by night. We're all here together, man. Buy their comics, buy my comics, shop.
Welcome to Cartoonist by Night. I am Anthony Laatsch. I am joined here with Matt Rodgers, D-Brad Gibson, and we welcome back Brian Lynch from Harold and his Hot Wing of Justice. How's it going, Brian?
Awesome. Thanks for having me back, you guys. Such a fun time last time. Looking forward to this episode.
Of course, when your check cleared, we're like, all right, let's have him on. So
It's funny because it bounced all the way to you guys.
I know, right? What we're going to do kind of a free-for-all episode. That's where we just kind of hang out, talk about whatever, draw about whatever. We've already had an episode with Brian Lynch where we learned all about him. You can go back in the feed to watch that episode. We'll learn some new stuff about him because we'll be advertising some stuff that I know I have examples of right next to me here. But the one thing, because this is the beginning of October 2024, and one thing that Brian introduced for drawing prompts, I'm going to load up the image here, Brian, if you want to kind of tell our audience what you are doing in the month of October for 2024.
No, definitely. I'm excited because at Matt Rodgers' suggestion, he said, hey, with all these Inktober and everything, so you should come up with something like Bawktober. And I was like, all right. So I had months and months to figure it out. And on September 30th, I finalized it. No, but I tried to take the prompts like you would see in Inktober and some of these other ones and make some of them spot on, like this is what you should be drawing, and others of them being kind of open to interpretation. And so it's been a fun. I've been doing Inktober for 3 years. Didn't post the first year because I wasn't necessarily on Instagram. And then just with the prompts and everything, it's a matter of some of them are kind of obvious with chicken, pumpkin at the end of the month and everything. Some of them I've used from national days. On the second one, I put birthday because that's my character Jokin's debut date was October 2nd. And just some really fun kind of comic references from Underdog. And then Bone, you can do Bone the character. You can have Bone. Happy is on there specifically because of Happy Astronaut. And needed something else to kind of fill it in and everything. So
excellent. So yeah, what we're going to do here, we're going to go around and kind of see what we're thinking about working on. I'll kick it off here by showing off some drawings I've been doing with some crispy rice designs. I have these cards here. My character, Rice Christopher, now available as a comic book. But I have a bunch of these here, and I got a couple penciled out for some Bawktober drawings. But I've been kind of doing some drawings here, just kind of just having fun with it, doing some quick draws. And the Joker sequel movie's coming out, or is out today at the time of this recording. So I got a Joker there drawn in an animated series style, but with a Joaquin Phoenix painting and outfit and such. And then I have another classic Joker character, Lucy from Peanuts, one of the most memorable Jokers in history. Mm-hmm. And then this one I don't think I shared because I did this one before the show, but I whipped up a Scarlet Witch as well. And so nice. On these cards here, I'm going to be doing. I want to show off some of the Bawktober at the time of this recording. This is October 3rd, so we have 3 posted, and I have a reveal of tomorrow's on here, which will be old news when people see this episode. It'll be a week old, but so yeah, for chicken, I whipped up a hot wing of justice here, and for birthday, just decided to do a random birthday cake, kind of freaking out that his head is on fire basically. And Underdog was today's posting, and then tomorrow is taco. So I drew a taco.
Oh, yeah.
That's a wonderful taco.
Yeah, thank you. And so that's basically what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be drawing the next one for October 5th, which is Weather Vane. So I have it penciled out, and they're real light pencils on these things, so you'll see it come to life throughout this episode.
Hey, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
When you try to come up with these things, how did Weather Vane pop into your head?
It's funny because Weather Vane was, I think, one of the first Inktober prompts that I had done, and I drew arrowed up on top of a Weather Vane. And then next year, I think the prompt was roof, and I drew him up on the Weather Vane saying, "Really again?" So kind of a preview, where actually by the time the episode's done, it's going to be like, "You did this on purpose, didn't you?" And I did. So,
okay.
But you can show off some of the Bawktober that I've done. I've done chicken, like, is he afraid of crossing the street? Get to the other side.
Right.
This was for Jokin's birthday, the second prompt.
Birthday.
Love it.
And then third prompt, Underdog.
Never.
I picked that one because of he debuted on October 3rd, 1964, so the 60th anniversary of his debut.
Oh.
And then, like Anthony, I was trying to think of what to draw for the show, and I started mapping out a picture, but wound up finishing it for taco. He's eating a popular dish in our house, a monster taco.
On Tuesdays?
Just around Halloween, we do the monster tacos, like put little olives on top of the taco shell, cheese tongue, some tomato teeth.
Okay.
So now I think I'm going to be working on Weather Vane or one of the other prompts. So
I approve.
And since
I needed your approval for this here.
Since Matt Rodgers approves, what are you going to be working on today?
I am going to be playing catch up. I'm drawing the first one. Let me see, where is it? Boop, right there. So we have, this one's just called Chicken. So I'm drawing a chicken. His arm's on fire. I think that's the thing, right? We do firearms.
Yeah, the classic arm of a chicken.
The hot wing, yeah.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of years later, it's all coming together.
You're so clever.
And just so you know, like, because we're just looking at you now, do you want to be in picture, Rodgers, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a try.
Okay. Because I know there's some in the past where you're like, "Whoops, I forgot to switch it over." So I'm just letting you know.
This way, there's like some suspense. Like, ooh, what's Rodgers working on?
Yeah.
Fair enough. And we won't have any suspense with D. Brad Gibson. So what are you working on over here?
Well, I'm not doing Bawktober. I'm doing but I am doing October drawing a day, but I've been really bad at posting them, and but I did 3 from the last show that I'll use for October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and so I guess this will be October 4th. But they will have some kind of monster theme. So this is actually a cartoon duck named Count. Oh, this is Quackula. Quackula was a Filmation character, 1979 to 80, and he's part of the Mighty Mouse Heckle and Jekyll show. Ooh. And then I'm going to do another duck who's a vampire, who from a British cartoon spun off from a spy show called Danger Mouse. It was in the 80s, and they had a character named Count Duckula in that one, and so he's a vegetarian, Count Duckula, I think. And then I'm gonna do a character from the House of Frightenstein I talk about, and his name's Igor. It's gonna be him dancing. And then the last one I'm going to do is Beetlejuice going showtime.
The juice is
now with what you're doing there, Brad. Have you thought about bringing out Fang Face for your October drawings? Did
yeah, I'll do that. Good idea. Yeah, I'll do Fang Face too. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Fang Face for sure.
Awesome,
man.
All right. So yeah, we are off to the races here, and once again, this is kind of a free-for-all episode. Don't really have too much planned other than just hanging out and chilling. We talked about Jokin's been mentioned. We've talked about it in the past episode, but as a reminder for those, maybe this is every drawing show on YouTube is somebody's first episode of a drawing show on YouTube. I think Stan Lee always said that. And so Brian has Project Pumpkin with a bunch of awesome creators that a couple of us from Cartoonist by Night have contributed to. Some of actually have a decent amount of the people as guests on this very show that have contributed as well. But yeah, Project Pumpkin, how's that going? Is there maybe something else that we can expect for Project Pumpkin in the near future?
There will be a second issue. Volume 2, so to speak, and really happy to announce that I've got back a lot of the creators that contributed to the first book, and a bunch of people who might not have had time to for the first book that I was able to reach out to, and I think I've got all of the Cartoonist by Night guys, because I know D. Brad, Matt Fife, Troy, and Anthony. You guys have all already contributed the piece. I've got them on my iPad waiting to go to the printer, so I appreciate that from all of you guys, and I love sharing it. I probably oversay it. I'm humbled that other people are willing to and wanting to draw my characters that I've created, and then I see their interpretations of just what comes out of it, and I'm just absolutely amazed. I've not had anything remotely similar to any other art. No artist has duplicated or come close as far as that goes. Okay. I love that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, again, with mass contribution, I was just going to make it a one-page book, but I'm like, well, I got to put D-Brads in there, and then I'm like, oh, and Anthony's. So sorry, Matt, you don't get the whole book, but you'll at least be inside it somewhere.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm humble.
See?
I'm actually the humblest guy you'll ever meet.
Yeah, I said that, and my wife doesn't believe me, so.
And something else that you've come out with recently, since the last time you were on, not only do you have the Project Pumpkin, but as well, you have, you know what, hold on. We're going to take a quick pause. This is going to be a tease for the bucket list, because you know what, I'm going to have something special for you guys instead.
Special?
Yeah, this is going to be a special little treat.
Oh!
Hello!
Hey.
How are you guys?
It's the
Hello.
coolest guy in the world.
Hey.
Where?
I'm
What's
so
going
glad-
on, Troy?
Hey, how are you doing, sir?
Great. How about yourself?
I'm doing very well.
Uh,
I couldn't, I had to work late and then had to run errands. My most of the family's going out of town tomorrow, but couldn't miss the opportunity to say hi to the Great Pumpkin for a minute. Oh, and then he disappeared.
Oh, wow. You know,
What did I do?
he asked if Troy was going to be on this episode, and we said no, and then he's like, okay, I'll stay.
Wait, what happened, Troy, between you two?
I don't know. I called him the Great Pumpkin, and then he decided to stay away.
Oh.
So,
Revealed
yeah,
his-
well, I'll be watching close to the people asking to be in the episode here to see if Brian returns. But hello, Troy. Oh, here we go.
You'll do.
I have a special treat for everybody here. Something that I had 100% planned, quote unquote, planned this. Welcome.
There he is.
All right.
Oh, there you
Sorry
go.
about that, guys. That's what happens when I touch my phone when someone's talking.
Oh.
Welcome
I
to the
was-
show, Brian. You have Project Pumpkin coming out, and oh wait, we already covered all that. So to catch Troy up, this is a random episode. We're just hanging and talking. So, yep,
Okay.
there. Now you're caught up.
Very cool. Brian, I was just saying before you got disconnected, said I couldn't miss the opportunity to hang out with the Great Pumpkin for a minute, and then poof, disappeared. Oh no!
It's a good time.
He left.
That's exactly what happened to Linus. He was looking for him, and he didn't pop up.
So before
That seems to be my signature, is just disappearing without any kind of notice. So I don't want to make that a habit, though.
before I lay colors down on this, I'm drawing a day 4 for Bawktober, which is weather vane. So I'm doing
Okay.
a weather vane that's on top of a roof, but instead of a chicken, it's going to be a bucket of chicken with some fries.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah,
You know what I thought it was? I thought it was going to be a decapitated Rice Christopher head.
oh
Oh,
no, not my beloved Rice Christopher.
No.
I mean, it is Halloween, right? All things are fair game. What are you working on, Matt?
what?
Yes.
Matt.
Which? What are you working on?
I'm doing a drawing of a chicken. Let me see if I can hit the right button. There we go. It's chicken.
Ah, the chicken has a hot wing, apparently.
He's hanging out and having a good time. I need to figure
Nice.
out what color. What's a nice color for a toasty chicken wing? There we go.
Yikes.
But yeah, we're covering the Bawktober prompts, Troy. We kind of going through and introducing that to everybody. A couple of us are participating. D. Brad's off drawing his monster characters, continuing that theme, and yeah.
Nice. Brian, are you drawing also?
I am. I'm also working on the Bawktober prompts, and what I'm doing here is getting ready to have him kind of pointing out what you had missed right before you joined is talking about one of the prompts being weather vane, and it's just become a running gag where I throw Harold on a weather vane, so I felt it appropriate to include it in a list of prompts that I was doing. And so the cartoon's going to be Harold
Nice.
saying, "You did this on purpose," and I'm going to be like, "Yeah, I did," you know. So and he's going to be on top of a weather vane.
Good deal. Awesome. Maybe I should decapitate somebody on a weather. I mean, draw somebody on a weather.
Whoa.
I did have a question that came through on the social media when I reached out to some people, and I just have to get to my folder here. My phone updated, so like all of my folders and pictures are all in different spots, so I have to try to find out where this photo went. Here we go. This question is for Matt Rodgers, and this is from one of our super fans, one of our paid Patreon supporters, Tunes by Troy.
Okay.
He goes, "Yo, why you cut that good hair off, Matt?"
Because I didn't need it anymore.
Too hot.
Figured. I did it myself. Can you tell?
Yes.
No,
Like my scar?
who said yes?
You like
When
my
you're-
stars? Was that a Heath Ledger Joker impression there? Ah,
You
ah,
guys
oh.
very mean. Very mean to me.
Kind of realizing I don't know how to draw a chicken.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah, you got where does the flap thing go? Or
Do chickens have flaps or is that turkeys?
yeah, is it a
Foghorn
turkey?
Leghorn has a flap.
I say, I got a flap.
Is he a chicken?
Yeah, he's a rooster.
Oh yeah,
He's a big old rooster.
and then the chicken hawk always after him and everything too.
I'm a chicken.
I'll say, boy, that boy ain't right.
That boy ain't right.
Let's see here. What kind of paper am I gonna put on this one?
Now, before the show, we were talking with Brian. You've been hitting the convention circuit. If you want to kind of talk about those experiences that you've been kind of getting Harold and his Hot Wing of Justice and joking and all that to the world, if you want to speak on that.
Yeah, I've had a couple opportunities over the past month where I was able to table at MightyCon in DuPage County. So, and I know you're familiar, Anthony, with the MightyCon show up, and you have two of them in Wisconsin, right?
Yeah, Madison and Milwaukee.
Nice. So I was able to table there at the beginning of September, and then our local library had a comic fest, and they were kind enough to invite me again, and it was nice. Just Comic Fest was a little more intimate than what MightyCon was. MightyCon, it's a lot more spread out and everything because they got vendors for toys, they got comic book vendors, they got artists and everything all set up, and so that was a cool experience. I was kind of on an end, so I had some good views of being able to talk to people and everything. The Comic Fest was in a room, and it was a lot more, like I said, a lot more just cozy as far as that goes, and able to talk to more of the artists that were there. Just phenomenal people. I'm gonna miss some names, but like Max Baer and his wife was there. Tom Bacon and Steph Stenga was there. They had myself, Tom Stillwell was there, and Justin Castaneda was there, and so it was just nice to, when you weren't so busy talking to people, you got to talk to other artists, pick their brains, and just have really great conversations and stuff. Which I'm sure similar experiences for you, Anthony, and MightyCon, or
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Mighty Cons I've had, I've always they set up, at least the ones I do, they set up people just kind of randomly. Not, I'm sure they have a plan of some sort, but just saying that if you're a toy vendor, if you're an artist, if you're, a writer, everyone's just kind of mixed in with each other, which I like, rather than just being like, all right, these people are over here, these people are over here. We'll hide the artist in the hallway and down in the basement where nobody can find them. Things like that. So I like the idea that you can just be set up, next to someone selling Boba Fett toys or something. And but yeah, it's always fun just kind of hanging out and meeting and greeting with the fellow people tabling there. And what I liked with the last one was the first time when I had Rice Christopher out there in the world. So I had a lot of talking to do that day, and I can usually stand all day if I need to. I don't sit down too often. I can usually draw my little sketch card standing up too on my clipboard. And but yeah, this past time I was just talking almost the entire time as I'm just kind of putting Rice Christopher out in the world and letting everybody know who he was and stuff. So it was fun just to finally get to talk about it after like a half a year of just sharing it with you guys and a few others, and So yeah, always a good time in my kind of get very excited for those shows.
I gotta say, it's been fun. Drawing your guys' characters and stuff. And sorry, I haven't done any jungle drama, Troy. But when I was drawing Kid Slapshot, I'm not very good at hoods, so you probably have only seen one or two. But love drawing Happy. Slaughter Otter was cool. Then doing some sketch cards for Anthony's Rice Christopher character, and an event that hopefully you're going to be able to announce soon.
Yeah, I'll definitely be announcing it on the social medias, but the plan is for me to set up my table, my convention table, a version of my convention table. And let me just say my favorite place on earth. I'll just leave it at that as a hint. So yes, I will be selling art at Fuddruckers in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the
I was
closest.
gonna guess it was like Hank's cheese smoked cheese house or something like that. But Fuddruckers is a good favorite place too.
Yeah, and I think the Las Vegas one's the closest one to us now because you can't find them anywhere.
I mean, you'll be right by what that sphere, so all your art can just go right up on that sphere as you're drawing it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Give an update on my drawing here as I'm adding some color. I'm really working on this rooftop here. Normally some of these cards I've just been kind of drawing them kind of quick, but this is one of those that I was going to take a little extra time with here in the episode and trying to make some tiles. But yeah, I've got the hot sauce from the chicken bucket here. I just got to design the bucket yet. So right now it just looks like a Conan O'Brien scarecrow right now.
Conan O'Brien.
What?
Is that out loud? Right.
Yeah, we heard that.
I'm sorry, what? D-Brad's losing his mind.
Yeah.
So what else is new, guys?
I worked and then I didn't work anymore. And now here I am.
That's some riveting stuff.
Maybe the same day as me.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great?
Yeah.
I need to change that sky color because it blends in too much with the shadows.
All right.
Oh, sorry, you guys can't see it. What? Oh man, it's a chicken.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Oh,
What
that's
if I
awesome.
told you that we could see it the whole time, even when it wasn't on the screen?
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
That I got that reference.
I don't think.
love- Sorry, I wasn't saying anything.
So yeah, we are officially in the month of October. Anybody watching any scary movies yet?
Scary. I decided I'm not going to watch scary movies. I'll watch, well, I guess like comedy horror movies I'll watch this year. Oh, and I'll watch classic Frankenstein. I always do that on my Frankenstein Blu-rays.
There you go.
I don't really get scared from movies.
Well, because you
Same.
got those post-it notes on your TV, so you don't have to see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to try to
Yeah.
reference that every episode.
Yeah.
I approve.
I missed that, whatever that reference is.
Oh.
When D-Brad read Walking Dead, he got scared, and so he put post-it notes over some of the panels so he wouldn't have to look at them again.
Yeah. I wasn't scared. I was disturbed. I was horrified.
I wasn't scared, guys. No, I wasn't scared.
You know what? The first time I read Lovecraft, I
Yeah.
read it got like a collected edition from Barnes and Noble, and read the first short story, was creeped out by it and gave it away. Like, I don't want this in my house. This is scary. Nope.
Yeah.
Couldn't handle it. So I'm not going to make fun of you on that one,
Oh, yeah.
because I have been there.
Yeah.
I wasn't making fun of them.
We're just celebrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celebration.
And also, you should try Lovecraft again. It's really good, some of it. My
I
favorite
would
is
say
the rats
I
in
would
the
say I
walls.
agree with you. It was good enough to creep me out.
So I haven't announced it on social media, but I've been open with talking about it with friends alike. But I am working on a Rice Christopher Halloween story that
Nice.
I'm confident I can get out by Halloween week, if not Halloween day. But I'm going to do a 4 to 5 page Halloween story with Rice Christopher. Offer it online for free. Have people check it out and kind of get a good idea of what I do with these with this character here and the world that comes with them. And then next year, when I do a new printed issue, non-internet free story, I would then tack that Halloween story on as a backup and stuff, so it would actually get to see print. But the intention is to kind of throw it out there, kind of celebrate the release of the character, the Wednesday afternoon special comic book that's out there to buy. I have it right next to me here, so I will hold it up in just a second as I get through all these other awesome comic books that I'm going to show off later. But yeah, Rice Christopher, the Wednesday afternoon special, available now. Just comment on this video or send an email to latchkeyKid@gmail.com, LAATSCH. But yeah, so I figured having a brand new short story out there, have people see more of the interiors beyond what I've showed of this book and the trailer and such. And then if they get a laugh or two, maybe they're like, hey, I'll have to check out that other book that's not available online. And so it could also serve as an ad for the physical comic book. But yeah, I told myself that after finishing this, that I'm like, all right, that was a fun challenge for 2024. So starting January 1st, I'll start working on the next special for a printed comic. And then next thing I knew, I'm just like, I should do a Halloween story and then just put it online. So
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I went back on my own promise within like probably 24 hours.
Oh,
But it's exciting to dive into the world, and I've got a character that is Halloween related. That is going to somebody who's been in my idea file for quite some time, and I'm excited to reveal that character in the Rice Christopher world.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
What did I do?
All right,
What did I
Anthony.
do?
Now this is where I know that the check cleared, so I can talk about your Rice Christopher book and tell you truly how much I enjoyed it. The jokes hit, the action that was in there, the little cameos that you showed,
yeah.
the ads, just all of it, man, was just like awesome. And I'm glad that it's out there.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
Yay.
Yeah, it was a pretty fun adventure, and it's kind of fun now just at my place of work of having people come up that have heard about it, just kind of congratulating me and stuff like that. So it's been pretty awesome just because I'm not really, when I'm in work mode, I'm in work mode and I'm not thinking about what we do here at Cartoonist by Night and drawing and all the other cool stuff. And so when someone brings it up and I'm just like, oh yeah, that is a thing I did. And that's pretty fun. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool to hear the feedback and to sit with that story for those months and have a lot of fun with it. And then it was kind of crazy to be like, oh, now hopefully people that buy the book actually enjoy it as well. So yeah, it's always good to hear some good reviews. Thank you.
Well, you talk about like feedback that you're getting like at work and everything. I'm very fortunate that at my work they tolerate and they definitely support me for my characters and everything. What was one of the coolest things that happened to me recently was I was getting some cash change at my bank and for one of the shows and they had I'm like, yeah, I need to have this change, I gotta have a show, and they're asking me, well, what are you gonna do? I'm like, well, I draw a cartoon, and I talked about Avenue of Justice and joking for a little bit. And a couple weeks later, I go just through the drive-through, regular banking transactions and everything. The guy comes up on the little screen and he goes, yeah, how do you want? He goes, hey, wait, you do that cartoon. So I kind of got recognized, I guess, which was kind of cool.
famous.
So a little bit.
Hey, you're only as famous as you believe you are, maybe?
Oh, then I'm a rock star. No.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, especially it kind of catches you off guard like that. So
It definitely did, and it was really a pleasant surprise and all that, and really, it was cool. It was cool to have that happen and stuff. Because I mean, you expect it like, okay, if you're at your comic shop or at a show or anything like that there, but to have it happen like out in the wild, that was pretty neat.
oh yeah, I just realized I needed to add some extra hot sauce to the chicken, so I busted out some red on top of the orange here to kind of make it look hot, hot, hot. But yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with the tiled roof here. As I think I'm done with that. Looks like a roof, right?
Oh yeah,
Is this
Oh,
what
yeah.
roofs look like in Canada as well?
for sure.
Do you have roofs in Canada?
They just they rely
I
on
look up. I
shade.
have a skylight. I have a skylight.
They rely on
Partial
the
roof.
shade of the antlers from moose.
Yeah, totally. We do have roofs. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That was a great follow up. We do have roofs, yes.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Just in case you were wondering.
Hey, speaking of famous people, Brian Lynch, you and I were next to a couple famous people a couple weeks back at the time of this recording. Not only the famous cartoonist Art Baltazar, of course, but also Daniel Warren Johnson. That was an event
Yeah,
that you and I had attended.
it's amazing the talent that Aya's been bringing through there, from Daniel Warren Johnson to Gavin Smith. We talked about Maria Wolf earlier. Just a bunch of great guys, and Daniel was just amazing to talk to, and I'm loving what he's doing with his Transformers and everything. And I haven't read the new book just yet, but I did pick it up. So
Yeah, I think I'm through issue 10 at the moment right now in the Transformers.
oh, nice, nice.
So I probably have maybe 2 or 3 to read yet, I think.
Okay. Anyone
Yeah.
else reading the Transformers stuff, or?
I'm
No, I just
reading
like
more of the G.I. Joe stuff. I
This has
have
been really good too.
I have some of the Transformers. Well, I found out what Void Rivals, I wasn't picking that up at all because I didn't realize that it was like tied in with that, because it's not called G.I. Joe and it's not called Transformers.
oh.
So I didn't pick any of those up, but those trades came out super fast too.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
that
did.
for those unaware, with the comics over at Image under Skybound and the Energon universe that they built, the Void Rivals was the first book out, and where it was just like, oh, this is Robert Kirkman's new book, and you like The Walking Dead? Well, here's another book from Robert Kirkman and his artists and everything. And then as you're reading it, you're just reading a space story and just about a war between these two planets or groups, and then all of a sudden there's a transformer in the comic, and that's when you find out. And it's been long enough now, but during that time, holding that secret out and everything, and like when it was such an awesome experience where it just like, just read Void Rivals, don't just go in blind if you didn't hear the news or whatever. But yeah, so, and then Daniel Warren Johnson, who was hosted at Oh Yeah Comics in beautiful downtown Skokie, writer and artist for the opening arc, and then he's carry on with the writing duties for the main Transformers book and stuff. But yeah, creator of Murder Falcon, and he's got Space Mullet. He's got Do a Power Bomb, Wonder Woman Dead Earth over at DC Comics. He did a Beta Ray Bill miniseries over at Marvel. He's done some Star Wars Vader stuff in the black, white, and red Vader, I think.
Okay.
But yeah.
My favorite that he did recently, did you guys see that Jurassic League where like the Justice League is just a bunch of dinosaurs?
Yeah. Awesome.
I just
That was
saw that
great.
because Fife got a bunch of those at a convention that we were at, and I was like, what the heck is that?
It's super fun.
One line caught me and made me buy the whole series. Is that the Bat dinosaur was chasing after the Joker dinosaur, and he said guano, he's fast. And I'm like, all right, that's like genius writing. I absolutely love it. And I asked Daniel if he wrote that one because I know he's writer and artist on the series, and he said no. And I'm like, that's all right, it's still a cool line.
Where can I meet that guy then?
Right. Wait, you mean he's not here? Oh, okay.
Oh, all right. I'll go home.
Yeah, I've run into Daniel a few times over a handful of years. He came into Crimson Cowl when it was a physical storefront by complete surprise. Him and I have a mutual painter friend, and so yeah, we've kind of connected on that. And this time when we met face to face, he kind of looked at me. He's just like, "Yeah, I recognize you. I recognize you." And then I want to mention, he's like, "Oh yeah, that's right." So I think now I'm officially in. I think next time we're all good. So now
Oh, that's awesome.
now the checks aren't bouncing with Daniel Warren Johnson.
That man.
Finished up the weather vane prompt for October 4th of Bawktober. So here it is, a weather vane with a good old bucket of chicken and fries. Kind of go Harold style with the fries tucked into the bucket there. So
Look at that.
Oh,
love
that's fantastic.
yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with these cards. Typically on the show I've been working with the small sketch cards, and but since I've gotten these 4x6 crispy background cards, I've been kind of going back and forth between drawing fast, kind of like this Joker one that I showed before Troy showed up here. So just to show him here, but doing a quick one like that. But then there's been a couple of these here where I kind of taken my time
Nice.
with it and slowing it down. But it's been fun just to kind of work on just different speeds and different styles, and not necessarily needing to fit a crispy pun or design, but just kind of finding out that this is kind of like, oh, this might be my thing here. Like just having just these interesting, even if you don't know what it is, it just looks like it stands out basically.
It does. Yep.
Like, it works good with the taco one, just even with the shell and stuff like that too. So that one kind of had a natural blend. Worked with the cake one fairly decent as well. But yeah, then it just kind of looks cool just on like people. So
And
yeah,
I think that that's awesome because you and I had talked about it is for that to kind of be your imprint, even if you go off and do other things besides Rice Christopher, to have that as a background on a sketch card and everything. Like everyone's got their logos, everybody's got sketch cards that have certain distinguishing marks on them, and I think that really does your work a lot of justice and everything.
oh, justice, copyright, Brian Lynch. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, when we're talking about that too, is that I've mentioned like Eric Wolfgang, who like his awesome kind of like jumbo sketch cards, not as jumbo as the one that Troy's working on right now, his jumbo sketch card.
Yeah, my jumbo sketch cards are jumbo.
Let's take a little closer look at this Colonel chicken going on over here. This is great.
Yes, it's
What?
Halloween, and so Colonel Chicken has it's KFP, not the French Canadian version. What is that? PFK in Montreal?
I don't know. I don't live anywhere near there.
Oh yeah, but you Canadians.
You know.
My wife lived in Montreal.
I
And
know that Colonel
she still
Saunders.
calls it PFK.
Oh, really? Oh, I've never heard that.
But anyway, Kentucky Fried People.
Yeah.
So he's got, instead of a bucket full of wings, he's got a bucket full of hands.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's amazing. Why didn't I think of that?
I'm almost finished with my weather vane drawing. So kind of got the layout there. Previous cartoons had it up on top of like Snoopy's doghouse on the weather vane. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go back to that, or it could be a barn, and just got to get the word balloon in there and tag it for my Bawktober drawing.
Yeah. I'm
I'll give
doing
them pupils.
birthday. I mostly just don't like art challenges because I have to like think more. It's like, man, I don't know what to do. Usually I have a script in front of me.
Yeah, Matt Fife. Matt Fife should have written your Bawktober.
Right. Exactly.
And as Brian had mentioned, I forget if it was on air or off air at this moment, but Matt Fife, who is unable to join us here tonight, but he's been participating in Bawktober as well. And the viewers at home, Future Anthony, will put those drawings up there because I've showed off the ones I had. Brian showed off his. And so right now, let's ooh and ah over writer Matt Fife's Bawktober submissions. Ooh.
Ooh, that one's
Wow.
amazing.
That one is really
Wow.
good. He's come so far as an artist.
Whoa!
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Oh, I'm retiring. He's better than I'll ever be.
I think that was enough time to cycle through the images. So, cool. I started a second drawing here. Before I go any further, is there any guesses? Has nothing to do with Bawktober prompts or anything. This is I'm
I
doing
know what it is.
The
Yeah.
girl from Nightmare Before Christmas?
You got it.
That's what I was thinking, Sally.
Allie.
It's two geese making out.
it's two Loch Ness monsters meeting. That there was only one of them, but I'm now tempted to do a little smiley face there, put some eyeball. It's like the thing when you see like Batman's mask, but instead it's two Wolverines kissing. Isn't that what?
Yeah,
Or
that's
like
right.
Post Malone's mustache looks like two dachshunds kissing.
Oh yeah, that's right. I've seen that. It's crazy. But yeah, well, this is Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Sally.
The blessing.
That's right.
It's funny because that Nightmare Before Christmas movie, when it first came out, it didn't grab me. I didn't gravitate towards it. It was like I'm like, all right, this is good. And then as my kids, when they got a little bit older and everything, wanted to see it, I'm like, okay, let's watch it again. And I watched it with them. And I don't know if it's because I'm watching with them or what, but I really started watching that movie and I really like appreciated it a lot more. Really loved it the second go around.
Right. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Sometimes you love a movie and then you see it again years later and you go, why did I like it? And then sometimes you see a movie, I don't really like it. Then you see it again later and you go, this is way better than I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was because it came out in '93, I think, and I was just in love with it. I love the soundtrack. I don't have too many vinyl records, but that is one of them that I own is the soundtrack to Nightmare Before Christmas, and I'm fine with just listening to it solo and watching the movie and just thinking about it. I love everything about Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's
The guy who did I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying it stinks.
I was going to ask my expert friends here if I remembered correctly. Isn't the guy who did the voice for Oogie Boogie the same guy who did the voice for Audrey too?
Is he from the Four Tops or
Yeah, Levi
the
Stubbs.
Temptations?
He had just passed away too.
Yeah, he did this week.
Yeah, the Oogie Boogie guy just died.
But yeah, I can't confirm on the other.
It sounds, yeah, the voices sound similar anyway, from what I'm remembering.
My favorite moment in Nightmare Before Christmas is the saxophone player, and I think Jack's going back up to his house, and then saxophone player just goes, "Nice work, Bone Daddy." Just, I don't know. That might be his only line of dialogue, but I don't know. It's great.
Bone Daddy.
Bone Daddy.
So I drew Yeah, I don't have them within reach without dismantling my tabletop here, but I drew a couple other ones as well. But I don't normally. I always have trouble with lips, but I'm very happy with how these turned out. So this might be one of the things where, like, going forward, everyone's just gonna have Sally's lips as like whatever character I draw, just because I liked how that turned out. So
Yeah.
When my daughter was like 4 years old, she taught me how to draw. She taught me a cool trick on drawing lips.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Let me find a plain pen.
let's get a little tutorial going on.
Woohoo!
Cartoonist by Night.
I still kind of use it. I don't use it for finished artwork, but I still use it when I'm sketching.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if I'm gonna do like the frame or whatever. What? What is that? What the heck? Let's see. So she would draw a normal smile face like that,
Yeah.
and then she would just draw an oval through it.
Oh.
And I liked it. I'm like, that's kind of brilliant.
Yeah. It's quick and to the point.
Yeah.
How do you draw those pumpkin lips? Kind of like that, Brian?
You pretty much. I draw a heart and then I draw the line through it. So
Deep red.
Troy just gave away my secret.
Those pumpkin spice lips.
Pumpkin spice lips.
Yeah, I usually start with the smiley face as well, and then but the way I like, I'll hold it closer here, but I kind of like having the upside down triangle, if you will, just to for the top of the lips there. I think I might kind of use that going forward. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Maybe you could do like kind of what Troy's daughter did, is do the smiley face and then do kind of like a half a heart or whatever. Give you those lips.
Right now, I'm going to do some Nick Aureliani, Tim Burton cinnamon rolls here. If you are an avid listener and watcher of Cartoonist by Night, then you will know all about the cinnamon roll, Tim Burton cinnamon rolls from the last episode. And if you aren't, go back and watch that.
If you aren't, then get out.
Scram! Oh, it's an awesome.
Yeah.
My lip tutorial turned into a very weird pumpkin.
Oh, I like it. I am inspired by it to draw something like that.
I love those big Geodude arms.
Raw.
It's amazing.
You could like make a character out of like a pumpkin with arms and legs. That's a thing.
I'm taking it. It's mine.
Slaughter Otter versus jacked up pumpkin.
There we go.
There was a moment at Oh Yeah Comics when we're all hanging out after the signing, and we'll reveal them eventually. But Brian Lynch, I got a good look at all these Rice Christopher pun-related sketch cards that he whipped up, and I've admitted right there that I think he's drawn Rice Christopher more times than I have at this point. And then I just mentioned, I'm like, I think I'm just going to sell the rights off to Brian, and then I'm just going to cash out and retire. So
There you go.
But yeah,
I don't think I could do it the justice that you've done it, because like I said, you've hit it just absolutely perfectly. And hearing the process that you did in one of the other Cartoonist by Night videos and everything, and how you just came up with a story on a day-to-day almost adventure, and it just hits right. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was literally laughing out loud as I was reading it. And the ads, the old cartoons that you dug up, all of it is just perfection.
Yeah, look at this audible advertisement here that's not done by me. So thank you very much. If you like what you hear from Brian Lynch, you can send me a message, comment on this video, and we can get a copy of Rice Christopher, the Wednesday afternoon special shipped out to you. Thank you, Brian.
I'm a big fan now. I'm looking forward to see what you do with your Halloween special.
Yeah, there was part of me that, since I'm working at the Halloween story right now, like part of me was flirting with the possible idea of being like, oh, maybe I should just like, because I do kind of dabble in different styles. I don't have like a necessarily specific one. And there's part of me thinking like, oh, I should just like do. It's almost like it looks like a different person drawing in it each time. But then I just didn't. I don't know. Then I just drew it how the first one looks. But that idea, Mike Allred used that in one of the Madman Atomic issues, I believe, Madman Atomic comics, and it looks like all of these artists like took a page and drew Madman in this sequential story, but instead, it was Mike Allred specifically trying to mimic and do an homage to a bunch of recognizable styles and stuff. So it's a very I don't know the issue offhand, but yeah. So part of that was kind of hit me where I'm like, oh, I should try to draw it like Troy would draw it, or draw it like Rodgers would draw it, and just kind of
Well, Walt Simonson did that with the Judas coin.
Oh yeah.
So he has a Batman one shot type thing, and he did different styles for each. It follows the coin of Judas, one of the cursed coins from betraying Christ.
Oh. Okay.
Through from way back then all the way to Batman, where Two-Face uses the coin.
Oh.
So
I
bet
missed
you
that
didn't
one.
know that coin was that old, but Two-Face was flipping.
Oh, that's the exact coin he uses all the time?
In that particular story, yeah.
Okay.
When your looks kind of weird. Sorry.
What?
Yes, Nanny.
I have that stuck in my head really bad right now. I apologize.
never apologize for anything Muppets related.
Said I'm sorry.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
I didn't know we were doing Muppets Part 2, guys. I mean, geez. I
That's
would have been more
That's why.
prepared.
I figured it out. It's that guy's fault.
That's right.
I hate you. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, that's right. Go to the last episode with Brian Lynch, because that was his topic of choice, and honestly, that might be my favorite episode of the bunch, because very passionate about the Muppets as well, and I look back fondly on that episode. I want to call out the awesome animated series style Beetlejuice that D. Brad has whipped up there.
Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
that's amazing.
The juice is loose.
Yeah, I like how it turned out.
Anybody else see Beetlejuice?
Nope.
Not, no.
Am I the only one in this group?
You were the
Yeah, I had a blast with it. What was really cool about it was the realizing, with all these decades that have passed, being like, when the movie's happening, being like, oh wait, we're getting to like play in this world again. Like, yeah, we had the animated series. There's been a couple comic books, literal small handful of them,
And a
but
Broadway musical.
yeah, the musical as well. They had a very limited run in my area. It wasn't going to work out with my schedule, but it's one of those things that I'm hoping, they'll put on like a street, like when they do like a musical movie version or something, but kind of like with Hamilton or whatever, and they've done that kind of thing. But but yeah, realizing it as I'm watching the movie, being so excited, being like, oh, wait, we're getting to like look into this after all of this time. And it was fun to just see how this world, continues to grow, in the way that, the new characters that are thrown into it, the old ones returning. But it follows a lot of the same formula of the first one, not in a bad way. Kind of like in a, Force Awakens, A New Hope way of just kind of like, all right, yeah, here's your act one, your act two, and your act three. And you're just like, oh, well, this is just how Beetlejuice stories are told. realizing that now we have a second one in live action. And I'd seen it twice now, and I loved it even more the second time. And yeah, I think it's a great companion piece to the first one.
All right.
I definitely wanted to see it. Just time allotment and everything. Because same thing with the Joker movie coming. I know that's one that's on my list to watch.
Yeah,
I just don't know when it's going to be able to go to the theater and say, hey.
I'm a big advocate of I'll buy it when it comes out on home media.
and I think Beetlejuice won't be too far off. I think I saw the digital announcement for October, I think, and then the Blu-ray and all that kind of stuff in November, if I'm not mistaken. But
Yeah, it's usually like you can rent it or buy it digitally, and then a month later you can buy it on disc, and then a month after that is when it generally goes to streaming.
it was a pretty quick turnaround. But I know too, I think it made a lot of money at the theater and stuff. So even though it feels like it's rushed out, I don't think it's. I think it's just like, all right, we've made all our money, so let's now go make some more. All right, I'm trying to decide Sally's hair here. I looked at one reference picture, but I'm referring to my my little swatches here, and it's trying to think. Maybe number 22 here might be my best bet.
I remember her hair being like a darker, almost burgundy type of red, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and based on what I have, I might have to. I think I'll layer it with 22 here, and then do some colored pencils afterwards and darken it up. I think that's my approach. Oh, hey, I have a buzz here. Let's see here. All right, so I asked Kevin Wolf if he had any questions. It was a late notice, but yeah, he's tied up at work right now. Okay, I misread this, so this is great because I said, "Oh, do you have any questions for myself and Rogers and D. Brad and Brian?" Not knowing if Troy would be here or not, and then he just goes, "What I thought said Brian is mush, but he says brain is mush." So at first I'm just
Both
like,
statements could be true.
at first, I'm just like, wait, is there like I'm not getting some kind of inside joke here, but I don't know, he's ripping on Brian here, but my brain was mushed reading that message.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Funny.
So
Brian is.
yeah. I'm going to see if anyone answered. I did a prompt on my personal page as well to see if anybody had any random questions for us. Let's just say that there's a million and I can't get to all of them, so I'm not going to do any of them.
Well, in this October spooky season.
Guys, I need to.
Oh, go ahead.
I gotta step out, guys. I'm sorry to come late and leave early, but
It's all right. Stay safe.
family's leaving for Pennsylvania in the morning, so
Oh, yeah.
we'll go spend a little bit of time with the little ones before they head out.
That was a nice little surprise to see you whip up.
Yeah.
Well, I saw the first drawing. I saw a little bit of that second one there. That's
Oh,
awesome.
that's amazing, Troy. I absolutely love that. That's
Creepy
awesome.
Colonel Sanders on a giant sketch card.
That's Troy's.
I love the. Before I go, D. Brad, Maurice Sendak is one of my absolute favorites as a kid. He's one of the first writers, artists that I actually knew the name of. I see Where the Wild Things Are, and I see that it's just as worn out as mine as a little kid was. It's well loved, curling covers.
Yeah, it's not that worn out, but yeah, it's curling. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
a
I
good
have-
sign.
I have all the figures but over there of them too.
Oh, okay, cool.
So.
And Brian, your stuff is always a pleasure to see and to look at and see new stuff popping up all the time. It's great. So
No, I appreciate it, Trey. And I mean, absolutely big fan of everyone here. And, what you do with Kid Slapshot. And I got to pick up the Jungle Drama. But big fan of your stuff. Nah.
Just go get Happy Ass. Now, the guys that did Jungle Drama, I'm actually not really that involved with it right now.
Okay.
I did a plot, and then Eric Marshall and Danny Harrell took it from there and made it into something good.
You did a cover though. That's cool.
Yeah, they did a really good job though on that. So I wouldn't say don't get it, but if you can get 2 comics, get Slaughter Otter and Happy, and then
I've got both of them. So
awesome.
And,
Then
like I said,
you got room for.
and
got
then
room
here,
for that.
just this was my homage to Where the Wild Things Are. I did a
Nice.
painting, Where the Wild Jokins Are.
Nice.
I'd show you the real painting, but it sold, so I was really happy
Ooh.
about that.
Awesome.
Very cool. Very cool.
Oh, so
Well,
you-
guys,
Go
enjoy
your
the rest
family,
of your.
Troy.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Brian. Say,
No, I was just saying, go enjoy your family, man. I get it.
oh,
Absolutely
yep,
understand it.
I
You see
appreciate it,
them
guys.
every day.
Yeah, but the little one, 3 days is a lot for him. So, and for me, me without him too. So,
Absolutely.
I'll see you guys.
See you
Enjoy
next
it.
Bye, Troy.
Talk
Yeah,
to you later.
yeah,
Bye-bye.
Yagums.
Yagums.
Yagums, yagums.
Always yagums with you guys.
Yagums all the way down.
Dare you?
I'm gonna finish coloring Sally's dress here, and then I'm going to pick up where I left off before Troy came in to advertise one of the recent releases from Brian Lynch. I just want to finish this yellow up here, and now I'm going to spice this up a little bit. I have 2 sets of these markers, and I always forget which is the newer set and the older set. So sometimes when I go through them, it's one of those things where you have like a half an ounce of milk, but then you just put the carton back in the fridge. So if like these markers are dried out, just be like, all right, just get rid of these markers.
Well, you know what they say.
What?
When your room looks kind of weird. No, I don't have anything. I just wanted to work that in again.
Well, you don't have anything, but Brian Lynch has everything, because you look at this, The Bucket List by Brian Lynch. I'm going to try to zoom out a little bit here. All right, check this out. Brian, you want to tell our audience exactly what we're looking at here with The Bucket List?
That is my latest book, as you just said. And the bucket list is a listing of a lot of the characters that have made its way onto my Instagram page, into my little cartoons and comics. And it's been so fun. It's kind of inspired by Art's Who's Who in the All Yeah universe. I'm like, I'm going to give just a little blurb while I'm waiting to put out the actual comic. And what you're looking at is one of my earliest characters, Barbie Queen Sauce, and or BBQ, it's every one of them's got just a little blurb of who they are, or something, just a fun fact about them to kind of give an introduction to the characters. And most of the characters on the bucket list, and the reason why it was called the bucket list is, in the grand scheme of my stories and my world, is a lot of it relates to the same bucket that Harold got zapped off of.
Oh, okay.
And so it's a matter of some of these characters have direct ties to it. That guy especially.
Yeah.
But it was just a fun little book to put together, and just kind of introduce some of the characters that people have seen, whether you just showed the comic book guy, and that was first introduced for Free Comic Book Day at All Yeah Comics. Just like I said, just a little introduction to some of these characters, and why they might be important to Harold's universe here.
Very cool. So you've got copies of this. Do you still have copies of the first Project Pumpkin as well?
I do. I have, and if you message me on Instagram at Hot Wing of Justice, or email me, we'll definitely make a way of getting you these books. Also have copies of first book,
Yes.
Social Interaction. So
Cool.
Sweet.
I like it.
Oh no, Dan DiDio's here.
If only John Suntress was here so he can do that awesome laugh. So he does a very good Dan DiDio laugh. So
Oh, yeah.
We need to
Oh,
get
nice.
Johnny on the show.
that would be awesome.
All right, John, draw a sock.
or a glove.
You know, I get excited when John Suntress, he's followed my art accounts, and I'll get some likes here and there. I don't think he does like too much social media, so I'm assuming he's not liking like 5,000 posts a day. So whenever his name pops up on something, I'm just like, oh yeah, John Suntress. Been listening to him for quite some time, and he name dropped me in a Dan Slott episode. Word Balloon podcast, for those that don't know, but John Suntress has a great comic book and conversation podcast. And Dan Slott, who is a top favorite writer of mine in comic books, I had a question. He put it up on the screen, and then when John called it out, he's like, "Oh, Anthony, he's a great Chicago artist." And I'm just like, I'm going with it. I'm in Chicago now. I'm relocated. But just the fact that he mentioned that to Dan Slott, but I'm almost thankful Dan Slott didn't like give me a follow or look and be like, "Hey, maybe I can get this guy to draw a Spider-Man for me." Be like,
Maybe.
But I do. It definitely the check didn't bounce that I sent to John Suntress for saying that, but I think that's going to be like episode title for us is like bouncing checks or something. So.
Yeah.
I think one of the coolest things is you on any of the social medias, you see the regulars who are there liking everything or liking a lot of the posts and all that. And one of the coolest let me learn how to talk. Story shares I ever had was Mark Hamill sharing us one of my art pictures for his birthday a couple years ago. And it's always cool to see someone, that you respect and admire, showing off your work and everything.
Yeah, what did he share?
I done a picture of the different voice acting that he's done and Luke Skywalker. So I did like a 4-panel plays, and I'm gonna see if I can try to find it while we're talking here. But and in each panel, what it had was one of them was Luke Skywalker, and instead of carrying Yoda in the backpack, he had Harold in the backpack. I did a Skeletor with him on it and everything. And I might have to rely on future Anthony to show off the picture because it has been a little bit.
But you can always rely on future Anthony.
And it was a happy birthday post to him, and I posted it, and next thing you know, it says, Mark Hamill has shared your story. So that I actually, I'll mention you in their story. So I actually put a little cartoon like that. Because if you've seen Mark Hamill sign his Twitter posts, it's always MAR and then a camel.
Yep.
So I did that for in appreciation of what he had done.
Mark Hamill. I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember seeing that like when you shared it and stuff too, and just being like, whoa, this is huge.
Right? I wish I was able to see him at Fan Expo. I would love to have gotten that printed out for him and just gave it to him. Here you go. You mentioned this on your story after what I did, but even to get up to him at Fan Expo, you couldn't just like I've walked up to other celebrities at some of these cons. Got to talk to Billy D. Williams when he didn't have a line for all of like 3 minutes, and they weren't even letting you anywhere near these guys. Him and William Shatner at Fan Expo. You had to have tickets for their autographs or something.
Right.
Yeah, I heard Matt Rodgers is like that too, where you have to have a special ticket just to get up to his table.
Well, he'd be worth it. I'd love to meet him and Fife and Troy and all you guys in person, one day.
But mostly me.
The inspiration for the Bawktober. I mean, who wouldn't want to meet you?
All right. Let's get this.
And
Time to do some lettering, Rodgers.
adding some more Tim Burton cinnamon rolls to my background here as I'm put some finishing touches on Sally.
The blessing.
Is Rusty still in the Navy?
Love it. I love it.
When did he move to Florida? What's great is I think we mentioned did all these same jokes on the Adam Crone episode. I think that's when.
Yeah, that's why that one's called The Blessing.
Yeah. We're very creative here at Cartoonist by Night.
Are we?
Hey, nothing like recycling a good joke.
Are we though? Yes. The answer is yes. All right. We gotta get a shadow on him here. There we go. Then we'll add a stroke to it.
You talk about having stuff stuck in your head all day. That Underdog theme song has been stuck in my head all day. Oh.
Wow.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I don't know what that is.
It makes me feel older.
All right, we got 3 of these things knocked out.
Oh, nice.
We have chicken.
Birthday.
We have birthday.
Ooh.
No.
Look at that face. Look at that.
Hey.
Look at that evil face. And then we have Underdog, and he's saying, "No, it's my birthday."
I like it.
I like it.
I like it.
I rewatched the first episode of Underdog yesterday, and it's amazing how many times in the same scene, even how he would just repeat himself and say, "There is no need to fear. Underdog is here." Like you just said that 2 seconds ago when you were over on that side of the room. And you got to remind them.
That was the area of recycling everything over and over again just to save money.
Using the same animations and the same sound clips. And
I don't know if you guys ever got Rocket Robin Hood. It was a space age version of Robin Hood. It was made in Canada. Well, I don't know if the animation was, but I know the voice acting was first. And so it would get rerunning all the time. And it would have like a opening theme song. And then it would have, there was probably like maybe 7 minutes of new footage each week. But what they would do is they'd have like little how do you say that word?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. That about a different character, and then maybe they had like 6 of them that they'd rotate, and so they would repeat every few episodes, and then they also, when they came back from a commercial break, they would spend a minute recapping what you just watched before the commercial break.
See, that's what I always loved, like daily superhero comic strips, because it's like you're automatically giving up the first panel because you have to tell people what happened the previous day.
Sure.
And then you have like 1 panel of real story, and then you have to close it out because you know that panel is going to be panel 1 of the next day. And I'm like, you're writing 1 panel.
Exactly.
Yeah, there was I think it was when they do some of those movies that are meant to like trick people into thinking it's Transformers, but it's Transmorphers. Like those kind of movies that you rent from like, Redbox or whatever, and you're like, all right, kids, I got the new Transformers movie, and then you watch it being like, oh, you didn't get Transformers at all. And I think it was that one. There was a scene where you would see like a hovering Transformer in the sky go to the left side of the screen, and then you cut to the reaction of the people, and then you would see that same shot but reversed. So you would see that it was clearly just reversed and it goes to the right side of the screen. They did
Right.
that like 3 or 4 times, and you just saw like, oh, they just paid for it once because they just reversed the actual footage of
Right.
it. And if you had a keen eye, you would notice what was going on. But I'm pretty sure that was Transmorphers. I was probably watching that on Sci-Fi or something.
That's markers. Well, the Rocket Robin Hood, I think it might have been made around the same time as the Spider-Man. Spider-Man does whatever. They had some of the same voice actors on that, so that show got rerun a lot here in Canada too when I was a kid. But there's one episode of Rocket Robin Hood and one episode of Spider-Man that's the exact same story. With the same villain, so they just used the shots from each episode, recycled them, and then instead of it being Spider-Man, it would be Rocket Robin Hood, and vice versa. So that was always a fun little thing that whenever that episode came on.
And I always
Well,
thought using the same background, like in the Flintstones when they're running through and everything, that it was like, oh, okay,
They just
did a
ran
lot of
past that
animation
house 50 times.
yeah,
right inside their own house.
yeah, that's right. All the little cheats.
Yeah, I've been
That
waiting.
and
I've been waiting to see if I can, if I need to use that in like a Rice Christopher comic when you would, change up the dialogue, and then Marvel and DC comics, you've seen it where it's a whole page of just the same image, just each panel is the same image but different dialogue.
Yeah.
I'm always aware of that, and I wanted to do a joke like that, but then have them just realize being like how frozen they've been the whole time, and just
Yeah.
call it out, basically do a parody of that kind of page. So
Yeah, that's a
I
good
bet
idea.
you could do it as a one-page joke in the next book.
yeah, future Anthony is going to be writing that down. That's what's great about me right now, just kicking back, drawing Sally, and just like that idea. I'm like, I don't have to worry about that. Future Anthony's going to cover that for me and make sure that's written down somewhere.
Yeah.
Good old future Anthony.
I think I'm done until I get my colored pencils after the show and darken up her hair, but this is where Sally's at the moment. So
I like that a lot.
Beautiful.
I always have fun adding the whiteout at the end to just, I don't know, it always makes everything look better just when I do like highlights and stuff. And so if I'm not happy with something, then I'm like, oh, I'll just put some whiteout around it, and then it looks like I meant to do whatever I maybe mistakenly did. That whiteout isn't covering up a mistake. I meant to put it there. I'm going to guess that Rodgers is drawing the taco prompt.
Yeah. That's
Why
def-
do you no, this is Underdog.
Oh, yeah. That's why I said
And
yes. I didn't say I was going to guess right.
I like the way you're doing it, like in the panel like that. That's a good idea.
I do like.
Well, Anthony stole my idea, so
Oh, we did?
that's what I get for not doing this until the last minute.
I stole the idea of the taco or the what?
Yeah, the taco.
You were going to have it spelling out?
Yeah. But you're a jerk.
Yep. I'm just glad. I'm just glad that I'm on par. I'm ahead of the game on the co-creator and artist of Slaughter Otter, which is now available. This is a transition plug to me having the physical copy in hand. These comics had quite a journey from the shipper to to my household, but they are here intact. On hand, I have the cover A, but then I have Troy's cover on hand too. All the other ones are stacked away at the moment. I did get a couple sketch covers myself, but yeah, Slaughter Otter. I want to kind of shout that out. And now that I have read it in full, other than piece by piece and what you've shared over the months and everything, and I had a blast with it. The action going all the way through. You and Matt Fife putting together this story, but I thought it was very consistent with the flow, the action, just nonstop, and and it was a complete blast from page to page. And I showed you my favorite panel. I don't want to reveal it to the public here. We'll just say for spoiler reasons. But yeah, there was you did a very good job in one specific panel that I shared with you the other night.
Well,
Yeah,
awesome. Thank you.
really
Thank
dug
you. I was really happy every single time I say it, but that's the best thing that I've done so far. So
Woohoo!
it's
it.
super good.
You can definitely tell the love in this, and just love the style and just the action, the lines, the just everything is a lot of fun in here. Good
The
humor.
way the coloring hit on the pages too, the way because
Yeah.
obviously I enjoyed Happy Astronaut with what June 5 did, and this is just something totally different. And I love the difference of the way you set it up with the art styles and the coloring and everything.
Yeah,
Like
thank
Anthony
you.
said, the story. I'm hooked again.
Well, I'm glad because there's more coming.
Woohoo!
And then there's some awesome pinups, and I'm just gonna get it ready off camera just because I forget if something's spoiled. Yep. So I got to cover one side of it up so I could show past guests. Chris O'Connell has this pinup here. I covered
Oh,
up the
fun.
last page with Troy's cover to keep that last page out there for people that have to pick it up yet. But yeah, so Chris O'Connell was on our show and did that awesome pinup here. And then another past guest, we have Alejandro Rosado has this awesome pinup here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Jay Hammond, past guest, doing colors for art by Trish Forrestner.
She does strays on Image.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I know I do have that, and I knew I recognized that name, but yeah, then I saw Jay Hammond's name there as well. So
Yeah, that was completely random. I was just like hanging out at home, and Jay Hammond sent me a message, and he was like, she just felt like drawing it. So she just drew this picture of Slaughter Otter, and it's so good.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
I love
yeah,
it.
so yeah, I only showed you a couple things, the pinup galleries and a couple of the opening pages. All of these covers, reach out to your local comic shop or go to keenspotshop.com and ask for them there. And then if let's say you're like, you know what, these covers are too great, I can't decide. Well, then you can get a blank sketch cover variant, and you can commission an artist of your choice, or even take a stab at it yourself and draw your own cover. How about that?
Yeah, I think you can do better.
Prove
Do
it.
it then.
But yeah, and I do have the metal cover, which is just out of reach at the moment, but I turned it into a dining room table at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's a nice, thick, heavy cover. So now I've turned it into a coffee table. So
What color is a taco shell?
wanna take a look at my drawing that I
Yeah,
stole?
that color.
No.
Here it is. It's got that crispy background.
I'm gonna make
Huh?
Robin make me
Tacos.
tacos, and then I will reference it from real life.
That is awesome. All right. I'm looking at this. I was going to do one final check on the social media just to see if anybody asked any questions, but the replies have been dry.
How dare they?
I know, right? I mean, there's been so many that Instagram closes down when I try to open it. So too many people responded.
Well, it's because Troy left. You know, a lot of those questions I'm sure were for Troy and Fight.
That's right. Yep.
Fair.
Dang it.
I'll allow it.
So yeah, just to as we kind of get ready to wrap up this episode here, it was fun just to kind of hang out and just chill and have a relaxing time and work on some drawings. And when I'm
Yeah.
running the show and having the share screens and all that kind of stuff, it takes forever to draw like a tiny little sketch card. So it felt good to actually get two pieces done tonight. I do have to darken up her hair with some colored pencils afterwards. Trying to figure out where my other one went. the weather vane. It's around here. Maybe it's sold. Did you buy that already?
Oh yeah, I already bought it, and I think my wife told me we just got it in the mail here. So
Wow.
express shipping.
Yeah, I'm really questioning now where it. Listen, no, it's not stuck to any of these. So all right, maybe it just fell on the floor somewhere. But yeah, this was Sally. Just been trying to do a bunch of these sketch cards for an upcoming event, and trying to do at least half of them to be Halloween type characters. D. Bread, let's take a look at what you've been accomplishing.
Okay. My first one was Quackula. Me.
Great pose.
He looks a lot like Daffy Duck.
Now, questions on before you go to the next one, because I love the motion and the poses that your characters have, and whether it's you're drawing established characters or doing, Grandpa Uncle Pickles or whatever that guy is, and I love all the action, the animation of their faces and their arms and everything. So I have to ask you, is this something that you just pull from memory, or do you look at some of the Quackula images and kind of use reference?
Well, I have to look at it because I don't know what he looks like from memory.
Sure. Well, like that specific pose, was that something that or do you put that up?
There was an animated. I watched an animated cartoon, and he did do this.
Okay.
But it would have been like just this much. They don't really show his full body on the screen much. But they do a lot of like crazy facial expressions. But if I did some of the crazy ones they did, it just wouldn't look like him,
Yeah.
So you wouldn't know what he looked like. So I thought I would choose something. But there's a bit of, like, I've drawn Daffy Duck a lot, so there's a lot of Daffy Duck in him. And then this one, this is my own pose, but it's based on just his personality. I couldn't remember what his hair looked like, so I had to look that up, and his costume I had to look up. But yeah, the pose is just something I did. This one, I had to look at the picture of the real guy, and then I looked up some of his dancing moves, and he doesn't really do much dancing other than this when he dances, and so I made sure it looked like he was moving and dancing. And that's he's Igor from Hilarious House of Frightenstein. This one is not. This is my. I had a reference of Beetlejuice for his clothing and stuff, but I think the like this one here.
Okay.
And then I just kind of what would he be doing next for the next pose, like with his arms up.
Very cool.
So, or I don't know if you can see when I was thinking about it. There's this. I had this arm going up before, and this one going down. But you don't want to have this leg and this arm doing the same thing, and this arm and this leg doing the same thing. So you want to, if this one's going to be straight, then this should be bent. And if that one's going to be bent, that one should be straight. Oh, sorry, it's off camera. But when I look at this now, I want to make this bigger. So when I go digital and clean it up with a black line, I'll probably make this part larger, more in perspective.
Yeah, a little closer to us. And cool.
Yeah.
So, D-Brad, let me ask you a question, if I could, man. Because seeing this here, what you just said with the Beetlejuice drawing and everything, you had that reference picture, and you're like, well, what does he do next? Do you do that a lot with from your animation background and everything?
Yeah.
And what is this character doing next?
Yeah, that helps.
Okay.
Yeah, then you don't end up drawing the same
Nice.
pose all the time. Because otherwise I would just do my standard one arm on his hip and one arm hand going out, like you see in model sheets. You'll see like they just show
Okay.
like a pose the character standing. So yeah, you can watch the show, and then you can freeze frame it, and you go, oh, that's how they got from that one to that one. Sometimes you see really weird drawings though when you freeze frame on an animated show. There's like really weird drawings in between. But yeah, it comes from animation. You have to get from one pose to the next pose.
It was always fun going back to like the older animation and everything. We were talking about how they reuse scenes and everything.
Yeah.
There'd be times like we'd be watching the old like Super Friends or anything, and I'd pause it, and the kids are like, "What are you doing, Dad?" I'm like, "Did you just not see Robin's like shorts turn from green to red to green again?" And they're like, "Yeah, we did." I'm like, "Okay, so it wasn't just me seeing this here, because as a kid, I know I didn't notice any of that."
Yeah. Definitely stuff is missing.
I had an old book of Star Wars bloopers that they had made in the original movie, and the one that sticks out to me is when they're running from the stormtroopers and they're getting ready to go in the trash compactor. They show Chewbacca after they shoot it, stepping into it. Then they cut away to the stormtroopers, and then they come back to the scene, and he's stepping into it again, like it hadn't happened at first.
Yeah.
So I love those little gaps when you can catch up in there.
Yeah. Sometimes they're noticeable first watch, but sometimes you don't notice them until much, much later.
Yeah, like decades later, when I noticed that the stormtroopers hit their head on the door, and a scene close to that one, and you just see like one of them just totally smack their head, and they just keep going, and they're like, all right.
And then they put it in every movie afterwards.
Always hitting their heads.
I think that's the only thing a stormtrooper has ever hit.
Well, I truly can't find that weather vane, so we'll see it in the show notes afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm just going to rip the entire house apart and find it. But
You
Brian,
didn't go anywhere, did you? You did leave for a bit. Where'd you go?
I
Maybe
just went off to the next room, but
It's stuck to the back of your pants.
Commander, tear that room apart until you found that weather vane.
That's what I've been sitting. Brian Lynch, check your status of what you've been working on.
I've got actually a total of the 4 drawings. So I told you, like I said, I finished this one here,
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Monster Taco, before we started. But then I'm also doing a Skulltober. Oops. And it's just different skulls.
Fun.
This one here's the prompt is Black Cat.
I like that.
Got another Skulltober for graffiti. And then the piece de la resistance, the one that I really had fun with tonight, was the weather vane.
Ooh.
Wonderful.
There he is. And that's what a weather vane looks like. At this moment, I have no idea what it is.
And that is a
I
weather
dig the
vane.
cat going through with the skull eyes. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Matt Rodgers, take a look at you're playing catch up here for your Bawktober.
Yeah. We got chicken.
Chicken
We got birthday.
birthday.
We got underdog.
Dogs.
And no, it's my birthday.
Underdog.
And then we have taco.
Fuck all.
Yummy.
There's cheese on there.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I had a little bit of cheese on mine too. Not some of it fell out, but yeah, cheese.
I like how you did like that first 3 panels, almost a sequential cartoon in it.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
at least
It
that's
was
what it
fun.
looks like, especially with the underdog finishing it off.
Yeah. And then he's all, I'm not on the right screen. Boop, there we go. He's all evil. Because it's his birthday.
It's a good face. I like that face.
Thank you.
All
I
right.
like that face too.
It's me.
I think that will do it for this episode. It was fun to welcome Brian Lynch back to the show to hang out and for a nice, chill, relax, and draw and chat. And once again, reach out to him. Social media stuff is all there in the show notes. And when he mentioned it earlier, we'll throw it up here in the bottom of the screen as well. But you have the Pumpkin Project, and we know that there's a volume 2 on the way. Then we also have the bucket list, and then inventory status. On you showed the comic and everything. Are you good on? You got other copies of that stuff?
I'm ready to fill all 3 orders. After that, I'll reorder more books.
Very cool, very cool. Matt Rodgers has Slaughter Otter with Matt Fife out there now, a brand new, fresh book. Check that out. And of course, Happy Astronaut has 5 issues that are out there as well. And then by the time this releases, we will be a couple days in, I believe, for the Pots and Panels Kickstarter.
Ooh.
I think that's
it got pushed back October 8th.
Oh, then we should still be good then.
Okay, because
Yep.
it got I guess there were a ton of things launching on the 1st, and they didn't want all the competition, so
Yep,
that
this
will.
episode will probably drop on the 11th, probably. So,
Sweet.
so yeah, if you want to just give a quick plug for that, for Pots and Panels.
Yeah, one sec, making sure the stack doesn't fall. Ooh. Okay. Pots and Panels is an anthology. It's half cookbook, half comic book. Has a ton of people. I think 80 creators are involved. It's over 400 pages. It's going to be like hardcover, and everybody had to do a story and submit a recipe. And I have an 8-page story in that. I'll pull it up real quick. Talk amongst yourselves.
And while you do
What about the preview of? Sorry, Anthony.
and I was going to say, while you do that, I did have the image because I showed this in the last episode. So just kind of what he mentioned kind of gives you a little text on it, and I'll keep this up until Rogers is ready. Lynch?
Nice.
I was just wondering, do we get a preview of what kind of recipe you've come up with? Because I know you've mentioned that you had to have a recipe for the book previously. So
Yeah, I'm a picky eater, so my recipe is like macaroni and cheese based. Let's see if this works. One sec. Let's see. Drawing.
Take this
Burp.
up.
There we go. That's the title.
Cat, the Adventure Cat.
What the Heart Desires, and then that's him.
Nice.
My name's Ket. I go on adventures.
The end.
Yeah, it's gonna turn out really cool.
Very cool. So
I
yeah,
like it.
So yeah, that as long as there's no delays, but at the time of this recording, we are expecting Pots and Panels to be available on Kickstarter. You can actually go there now for the pre-launch page if there is any sort of delay, but then you'll be notified. But I'm excited to check that out. A lot of awesome people, including Matt Rodgers as well. Now,
Oh,
Cat
man,
goes on
tons.
adventures. There's one other character that goes on adventures, and then that's it. I think it's only Ket and Rice Christopher, the Wednesday afternoon special, brand new comic book, 16-page story plus extras. There's a maze in here. There's some comic strips, some coloring pages. There's some fake ads. A lot of fun, all ages craziness going on. Just reach out to me. All that information is in the show notes and in the credits and everything for latchkeykid@gmail.com to order now. And and once again, I am teased that I'm working on the Halloween story, and I'm on page 2 of 5. I'm confident that I can get it done. I'm going to get a lot of it worked on this coming weekend, so I'm excited to make some extra progress if I don't spend my entire weekend trying to find out where that weather vane drawing went. So there's a
I
round.
got to tell you one thing, Anthony, and you haven't mentioned your stickers and everything. It's funny because when I see, I believe it's Spike's posts, or maybe Kirby's, might be both, but like they're using their like drawing boards and everything. You just see a little Rice Christopher kind of peeking his head out and everything like that. There, I find that amazing. I just absolutely love that.
Yeah, and Fife's on his board. I've seen that in one way or another. Rice Christopher has showed up on there, and I was just getting my inventory, my personal copies that I keep on hand. But yeah, Lavi, past guest on the show, she printed these stickers. I have Nikki the Swan, who I'm also wearing as a t-shirt that's on my Threadless shop for latchkeykid.threadless.com. I have some other Nikki the Swan stickers. If anybody places an order This is all information that is available to them to purchase other original drawings and art and stuff that I do. I have a lot of inventory, but limited inventory on some of this stuff here. So I don't, I promote it if somebody's interested and they want to pick up the comic book and such. But Kid Christopher, and and then the coloring sheets, which here's an example of a Rice Christopher pose there. Kind of dresses like that. So yeah, that is the end of our plugs. Pre-order Jungle Drama Salty Beaches, which is out there for pre-order. Ask your local comic book shop. Go to keenspotshop.com, I think. I don't know if you can pre-order that on there, but go there anyways and demand it.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's going to do it. Thanks again to Brian for hanging out with us. It was fun.
Absolutely. I love hanging out with you guys. I would make time anytime to hang out like this. This was awesome again.
All right, tomorrow.
So thank you for that.
Excellent.
I'll be there.
Excellent. Hopefully I'll be seeing you in a couple of weeks, Brian, too, to hang out again. So, all right.
Looking forward to that for sure.
And Brian, instead of just ending the call right away, I'm going to finish the episode by saying, oh, look, the sun's starting to come up, so I guess it's time to get back to our day jobs.
Bye.
Yeah, got it. Can't get the thing closed.
Godzilla, 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 and Godzuki.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was crossing my eyes.
In a world with so many stories, from movies to television, and of course, comic books, comes a story that's only available in one of the three mediums I listed earlier. What you are about to see in this trailer is a character debut like you've never seen before. And now, we are just buying dramatic time by repeating the same shots that you just got done watching. We are truly very sorry about that. And now, introducing Rice Christopher!